and welcome back to the table, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Slanted Dice. This time around at episode... Nobody knows.
58?
58? Yeah, that was 50 something. 58, apparently. So, yes, as always, before we start our session, we have a little recap. And the way this works is we all roll a d20 and see who gets to recount the tales of the Undecided from last week. So, everybody, grab your d20s.
I feel like it should be Brown Wolf, to be honest, just because he had such a prominent feature.
I can, but you guys won't believe the truth, but that's okay.
Sure, I mean, if you want to do it...
yeah, I mean, I
like
believe
that.
it was mostly my adventure. Well, yeah, well, who knows? I got away with a bag of weed, so let's say. Yeah, well, let's say the Undecided first wanted to... the Undecided, what a show. Yeah, so they wanted to go into a tavern which belonged to... We were directed there by... who got in contact with the innkeep? Who was also the magistrate of the town, I believe.
Oh, that was, Freon.
Yeah, I was supposed to
yes.
talk to him.
Yeah, with him.
And so we were supposed to meet up with
Dermoot was his name.
And he was kind of a dick. So, so I decided, after meeting up with a very, very old, ugly hag, but a nice woman, just a nice lady. And she offered that we could stay at her place.
Well, she wasn't a hag.
Well, not hag, but she was an old lady.
You're not sure. You never know with old
I don't
ladies
know.
in
I have
Dungeons
no
and
idea.
Dragons.
But I mean, she was an old lady, and she had warts and all, and but she was nice, and I figured she reminded me of the old women of the Skilfing lands. And I figured, oh, maybe she could need some help. But it seemed that she wanted a little bit more help from me as the barbarian, so we were allowed to stay there if I would warm her bed.
Lifting furniture.
I just want to point out, none of this was ever like a deal or exchange. You guys just decided to basically crash there. She was nice enough to comply.
She gave us tea and soup and stuff, and or whatever we drank.
But she did not come up to you and be like, "Oi, you warm my bed, and I'll give you a place to rest." That did not happen.
The inn was expensive as hell. I mean,
yeah,
it was the only option.
No, but she did say that. So you know what? Why don't you, the big guy, stay with me, and the rest of you can stay somewhere else? And I figured, hey. So to put a long story short, I took one for the group, but I don't know what happened because I woke up the next morning, even though I was stark butt naked. Something must have happened, but I have no idea. And she was very happy. But I also woke up feeling refreshed. To quote the DM, that this was my day. Anything would happen. It feels like I was full of luck. And it seemed to have to also do with the long drug-induced sleep that I got from drinking her herbal mix, which I thought was pretty cool. That's why she gave me a bag of that stuff, which I consider to be like a bag of weed. And I will see. I will see next time that I'm feeling down or maybe have hit points lessened or whatever. I'm going to try brewing up and see what happens. So I don't think it's a poison. I think it is kind of a remedy.
I could try to infuse it into our health potions, the ones that I brew.
And see what happens. Yeah, maybe I can do it. Yeah.
Might help with battle. You never know.
So with a bag of weed and very rested, we considered, or at least I considered, to continue on.
Well, what was your goal, though? What are you out to do?
Well, our
set
goal
out
was
to do?
Well, we were supposed to meet up. Help me on that. DM. Come on,
you guys were on your way to Bryn Shander.
Yes.
Because of a town meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freon received like a mental note from Hlyn Trollbane. And because she inquired about Sefek and the investigation you guys were on, and you said, yeah, you killed him more or less, and he seems to be responsible for the murders. And Clint said that she had she's uncovered something big, and the whole council of 10 towns, all of the town masters are to meet up at Bryn Shander with you guys as well, where you can, of course, state about your investigation, and she can also state about what she's found out. And yeah, more or less you guys made your way back there with Tiala rolling a natural 20 on the survival check. You guys found your way back there pretty quickly without too many issues. And you went shopping for a little bit, got some stuff, I think. And that's more or less where we left off. You guys said that you wanted to, shortly before the meeting in the evening, wanted to meet back up at the tavern.
Aye.
So I don't know if you still had any pending or requests, or anything you wanted to check out, or if you want to meet up at the tavern and see where this evening takes you.
I think next step was
Excuse me.
yeah, literally that, yeah.
Opened up a cool one.
I don't know, did anyone else have anything to do? Because I think Brownwolf and I went shopping, but that was it.
Yep.
I
I
realized I need arrows.
Didn't I buy arrows? I thought I bought
Yeah, I
a
thought we
bunch.
bought some.
Yeah.
We bought a whole bunch because we need
Oh,
we need
okay.
that. Yeah, because I remember.
All right.
us getting some stuff because what other folks might need.
Yeah, I've got a few arrows, yeah, and crossbow bolts as
Yeah.
well.
All right, so well, as the cold wind is blowing through town and the sun's rays that are not present at all, but the twilight is getting ever darker and darker, you guys make your way back to the North Look Inn, and waiting already outside the door for you, or right inside the door as you come in, you see the sheriff, this tall, bald-headed black man in this extremely heavy-plated suit of armor, quite a display as well, who greets you as you approach him, and he says, "Gentlemen, milady, the council is about to be settled shortly, and we will start in around an hour. If whenever you're ready, I could escort you to the town hall." So
Sure.
what you do?
Yep, lead the way.
All right, so you follow him.
Aye.
I follow
All right.
Theon. I mean, he's leading this whole thing, so yeah.
Yeah, we're
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're turning around, Freon. Everybody's there waiting for you to make the first move. So you follow the sheriff, and he makes his way through the still busy streets of Bryn Shander, leads you to the town hall, and you are kind of like he's not moving with you towards the main entrance, but off to the side into what looks like a small stable on the side and the back entrance. And he says, follow along, opens the door and enters. And you see already entering, it's like a bunch of people rushing around, stuff being prepared. There's several servants and handmaidens from the looks of it. Also some bearing other colors and emblems from other towns of 10 towns, what looks to be, because it seems like all of these town masters arrived with their own little consort or gathering themselves. But he leads you into this large area and this large, the same hearing room that you guys have been in before, although now the vibe seems to be a little bit warmer, as not only do you see these kind of ranks on the side, but there's large tables that have been set out and decked with immensely good smelling food. You see what looks to be a cooked boar on one of these, on a spear on the side. There's several soups and other like goods, baked goods that have been strewn about. They are trying to, or more or less Bryn Shander is trying to just display its best of what 10 Towns has to offer. And you see that several people are already sitting around. One, I need to get my notes in order here. One looking more foreign than the next. You do recognize from Bremen Dorbelgruf Shalescar, the guy that met you at the docks and inquired about the lake monster back then. That was some time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at the head of the table, there's Duvessa Shane, who's the town master of Bryn Shander, and several others that you have not seen, except for, I think, let's see. Yes, you do recognize Nerth Maxil Donar, the fine fellow that you've met back in Targos, and his sleeky and shady looking bodyguard next to him, who was a little bit wary of you. And you do remember that he also told him to more or less keep an eye on you back then.
The military man, was it?
Exactly, yeah. I think I do still also have pictures here somewhere.
I can't see anything, by the way.
Can't see anything. Have you tried zooming out or something?
Well,
smaller black image.
Most important question: is anybody else eating, or is it the buffet not open yet?
You do see that Dorbelgruf, he is eating. He started digging into his stuff already. And also, the sheriff kind of points you onto like, how many are you? 4. Yeah, 4 empty seats next to each other on one of the side tables. Let me just see if I can get this fixed for you guys.
Something about missing tokens. That's all.
Oh, we got the missing token thing again.
Usual.
Okay, so nobody of you can see anything, which is super weird.
It's all black.
There we go.
Missing tokens, my butt.
Oh crap.
So
well, I believe I'll grab myself a plate and after grabbing a chair.
Yeah. You also start eating, munching. Nom, nom, nom.
Hey.
All right.
Last thing up.
Yeah, you see, as all of you are sitting down, it takes a little while. People are pretty like hushing to themselves, and Duvessa Shane, the Bryn Shander town master, she gets up in her fur coat and she says, "Friends and consorts, fellow town masters, as always, before we get to business, Bryn Shander has prepared a feast for this occasion, as we don't get to meet that often. So dig in, be merry, and we shall conclude business afterwards. Cheers." And she kind of raises like a horn of mead towards the tables, and some are a little bit reluctant and just keep to themselves. Others like kind of like just join in. And yeah, you see there's like servants running around and taking empty drinking horns and then pouring out mead and handing it to people. So yeah, do you want to do anything in particular or just feast?
I'm gonna look at our group and order for a mead, and then ask them what do you guys want?
I'll have whatever you have.
I'll try to be as I'm gonna be as sober.
As sober as possible.
Yeah. Just have some food.
Okay. You do, Frio, make a perception check for me. Because your passive perception, I think... What's your passive perception again?
17.
17.
Perception is 11.
11. Okay. But you rolled a 17.
No, that's my passive
the-
perception.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Then the passive perception is high enough. You do notice that there are what looks like 2 empty seats, or at least empty areas around the table.
Ooh.
2 in total, yeah.
Okay.
Do we see Trollbane?
You don't see her at the moment, no. So, anything else, or are you guys feasting?
Can we deduce, can we deduce who's missing?
Probably Trollbane.
Well, from
Yeah.
looking at like everybody there and the way they're like seated around in order, you're guessing that it's 2 of the 10 town masters that have not attended.
Yeah, but could we deduce which one?
No, because you haven't been everywhere in 10 towns yet.
Well, the one guy is, of course, the one seat is probably the seat that you'll be taking as an emissary, Freon.
But I'm already sitting in a seat.
We could also just ask.
That's us, I thought, yeah, but...
There's like a handmaid running up to you. Is everything fine with you, gentlemen and lady? Do you need anything else? More mead?
Do you know where
Marie.
Trollbane is?
As far as I'm concerned, I think she just arrived. I think the Miss Shane will address the room soon, any moment now.
Okay.
And she pours in more meat and leaves again. But yeah, you guys keep feasting. The flames lower down a little bit. And you see at one point that there's like a handmaid that rushes towards Duvessa Shane and whispers something in her ear, and she just like nods. And she gets up again, and immediately the whole room fills with silence for the first time. And she says, "Well, fellow 10-towners, it has come to our attention that not only 10 towns, but more or less the region of Icewind Dale seems to be in grave danger, and life as we know it here in 10 towns hangs on a very balanced scale currently that might tip at any moment. I want to invite some might know you, but Trapper Trollbane has come to me with urgent news that she wishes to present to the town masters." And she sits back down, and you see that there's a side door that opens, and you see recognize Lynn Trollbane walking in some traveling clothes, heavily furred, and she looks weathered, almost as if she just arrived. And she pulls her hood back and says, "Well, dear friends, town masters, and others alike, brothers and sisters in arms, we've been fighting the cold, the frost maiden, and other things like scammy murders in these towns these past couple of months. I've been conducting a couple of investigations into the matters and have sent out my scouts, as you know me to do. And we have found a grave bit of news. Before I present this matter to the council, though, I want to give the chance to a very brave adventurous group that helped me track down the murderer that has been striking thrice here in 10 towns." And she kind of points to the side to where you are. "These fine folk call themselves the Undecided, and they have a little bit to say about what has been going on. Mr. Blackbrew, if you wouldn't mind.
Which one?
I nudged,
Blackwater
I-
and Freon.
I nudged at
Looks
Freon
like-
just... That's you!
What? That's yes, of course.
The whole
of course.
room like turns towards you. They have like big eyes and are waiting for why have they traveled all this way through the cold to meet here in the evening? What are these news?
Well, your murderers did. We tracked him and killed him.
You hear like from somewhere in the backstands. Who was it?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Epic. That's his name.
Sefek. Oh yeah, Sefek Kaltro. He was traveling with the caravan,
Stinky cunt.
disguising himself as a part of that caravan.
Immediately, like all you get the murmurs is Caltro, Sefek. That good for nothing boy.
Should we...
And he was able to kill 3 people in 3 different towns.
Whispering to the group, should we just drop the murder weapon just as, I don't know, proof or just confirmation that we actually got him? Or one of us has it, right?
I got a sword.
Yeah, I
Oh,
gave it
cool.
to
I mean,
Branwolf, I
don't
think.
I think we're using it.
Yeah, I gave it to Branwolf.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get it on my back. One moment. Go around and kind of reach it over to Alden and say, show him. Here.
Yeah, just I drop it on the table. Just
Yeah, people kind of like stand up in their seats to look at it and. But why has he been killing folk?
Well, he seemed to be a bit of a fanatic.
And you hear Trollbane chiming in. Sefek was only one example, doing evil deeds in the name of the Frost Maiden, killing those who cheated their way out of the human sacrifices to her in our 3 towns that offer them. I know some here do not want to hear any shame put to the Frost Maiden's name, but the threat that we faced and the threat that Sefek was also working for is serious, and no ritual nor sacrifice will keep it at bay. And she kind of like asks you, Freon, Mr. Blackbrew, did Sefek mention anything about friends or foes that he was working for?
I stand up, hoping that I actually appear taller than when I'm sitting down. Yes, we have
you?
reason. We have reason to believe that Sefek was part of apparently the Sunblight clan. I'm looking around the room to see if there's any reaction.
There's like a couple. You all roll a perception check.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to take my sword back.
You don't use it anyway.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good sword.
I get to reroll.
Oh, I
19.
don't see shite.
19.
Natural
okay.
20.
Natural
What?
20.
After a natural 1. Yeah, doesn't matter.
I got a
All right.
9. A 9
9.
for the barbarian.
Well, the barbarian, he's still like occupied by that meat and good food. But some of you do notice the at the mention of the Sunblight clan, most of them are like seem to be like recognizing the name maybe, but kind of are like withdrawn. Maxil Donar seems to have like a small little smirk going, almost if it's like just to play it off as nothing special going on. And then Hlin continues. Thank you very much, Mr.
Alton.
Mr. Alton. Well, Sefik is only one confirmation in what my scouts have reported further to the southeast. You see, I've been seeing their tracks for quite some time now. It seems that invisible enemies walk amongst us right here in 10 towns. We've seen their boot prints in the snow, and we know what they are. The Durgar and those of the Sunblight clan. These malevolent dwarves of the Underdark seem to have infiltrated our towns in search for what I believe is a rare crystal that some might know as Shardalin. My scouts have been able to find out that the Durgar are currently withholding all of their strength in a mountain stronghold to the southeast, and apparently they are building a mighty construct out of Shardalin that will lay waste to 10 towns if nothing is done to stop it. While I wasn't able to quite make out how this weapon is supposed to function, it does seem that they are on the brink of completing it. It seems that the Durgar are answering to a warlord named Xardarok Sunblight, the oldest and strongest of the Sunblight clan. And as we can see, with Sefik's forces and other ill beings that have been doing their ill will amongst 10 towners, it seems that the Sunblight clan aims to conquer Icewind Dale and destroy us for good, to have our good Frost Maiden, so to speak, reign these lands once and for all in their own everlasting night. So these Duergar that would normally live under the surface would finally be able to expand. For the good of 10 towns, we must penetrate the fortress, slay the evil warlord, and destroy the terrible weapon, while at the same time prepare all of 10 towns for an attack or siege that might evolve. So I ask you, Miss Shane, and all other town members here, what is it that we do? Each town will have to muster soldiers and battle-worthy men and women for the cause to fortify the towns. And you see that Duvessa Shane kind of gets back up again, thinks to herself, reads the room quickly and asks, please, each town master, quickly, how many men do you think would you be able to muster? And also, how big of a population do we currently have going in each of the towns? Because we need this information to see where we shall put our forces to defenses. We don't know where this Sunblight clan might attack. We don't know how this weapon might attack. And it kind of like silence befalls the room.
Do we know what this weapon is?
Hlyn, first Shane looks at you kind of like, well, you're not a town master, you don't have the word. But Hlyn immediately like breaks the silence. From what I've seen, it is a weird construct of some sort made out of this black ice. And I don't know if I can believe what my scouts saw, but they were kind of talking about some sort of flying machinery or construct. They were able to discern wings of some sort. But so far it was looking pretty complete. That is why I do not know how much time we have. And Dorbelgruf Shalescar, he's the first to kind of like get up. You see, like he kind of like spills his meat as he's still chewing. Well, Bremen has a population of 150 people. We're quite small up in the lake there. We can muster 25 soldiers. And he sits back down again. After that, Duvessa says, "Thank you very much, Mr. Salescar. Bryn Shander being the largest of all of 10 towns, we have a population of 1,200 men and women and children, and we can muster up to 250 soldiers for this cause of defense. I also have to speak for Mr. Cranach Seaver from Caer Dineval, who's apparently missing this eve, as he is reportedly being ill for some months now. They are only a population of 100 people, and will be able to muster 20 to 25 men." And then she sits back down. You see one of these people who pulls his cape back and unveils a silver-scaled dragonborn who looks pretty old and weathered. And he gets up and says, "Townmaster Trovis, speaking for Caer Konig. We have a population of 150 people and can muster 25 soldiers as well, if it comes to it. Myself included." And he sits back down again. Duvessa gets back up as the other empty chair next to him and says, "Seems that Mr. Dermot from Dugan's Hole wasn't able to make it."
Well, speaking for Dugan's Hole, we have a population of 3. Maybe soon 4, right, Branwolf? You never know. And, well, we are here.
That's it.
That's it.
It. Yeah. Take it or leave it, Dix.
So, Dugan's Hole cannot muster any soldiers or defend itself if it comes to an attack?
Have you been to Dugan's Hole? Have you seen what a shit show that few hovels are?
It's really a hole.
Duvessa kind of shakes her head. "I know that Dugan's Hole hasn't been faring well these past few years, but I must confess I haven't been in quite some time, but Mr. Dermot hasn't taken it upon himself to visit our recent town meetings."
He's kind
Well,
of a dick.
he doesn't like you. He doesn't care.
Well,
Branwolf chimes in from the side while emptying his cup. "But we're in the market."
well, we is all of your consort, all of your group more or less here for Dugan's Hole? Or would you be able to defend it if it comes to it?
No, not for Dugan's Hole, no.
I see. Well, let's go on. Mr. Whalen, and you see a human male standing up. "Daneth Whalen, in East Haven, we have a population of 700 souls. We can muster 150 soldiers for our own defense." And he sits back down.
How many, sorry?
150.
Thank you.
Duvessa gets back up again, says, "Oh yeah, actually, I was wrong. It wasn't 2, it was 3 empty chairs. Sorry about that."
Okay.
He gets up and says, "For good Mead, due to the recent death of Mr. Hearth, there's no speaker yet that has been elected so far, but as I know, they are around 100 souls and would be able to muster 20 soldiers." And she sits back down. Maxwell Donar gets up, kind of leans over the table. "Good evening, everyone. From Targos, as most of you know. Town Speaker Maxwell Donar. We have a population of 1,000 last time I checked, and we have a militia of 200 soldiers that will be able to defend the town of Targos." Sits back down again. Small little halfling woman next to him gets up. "Hello, Nimsy Huddle from Lonelywood here. We are currently about 100 people, and we have around 50 soldiers in the north that would be able to maybe do some defending if it comes to that.
And the white moose.
And she sits back down, and next to her, the last person to get up is like a half orcish man in very fine, almost silken clothing.
That kind of
Who-
makes Brown Wolf look.
Who looks. Good evening, from Tourmaline, Mr. Matthew. We have a population of 600 souls and would be able to muster 50 soldiers, as our militia hasn't been gaining more new recruits as we would have liked. And he sits back down. Duvessa gets back up again, Miss Shane. I would see to it that the drinks are refilled, and we should all think about a couple of actions and reconvene in 20 minutes or so to see if we can come up with a battle plan for what we might be able to do, where we might be able to have the strongest defense, and where we might have to help out. Thank you, everyone. This counts as adjourned. See you all back here in 20 minutes. And immediately, suddenly, everybody seems to start talking with each other, with the neighbors, blah, 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 and there's lots of stuff going on. It's getting loud again.
That's good, because I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's focus well.
I was gonna
You also
use
see that Lynn is immediately walking over to Shane, and they both seem to be talking eagerly and deeply about stuff.
I'm gonna lean into the group and say, they seem to have all this in hand. I don't know how many thousands, about 1,000 soldiers now or something.
And you see also at the same time, while everybody is talking, the food is taken away from the table. However, the drinks are still being poured, and they are starting to unroll a large world map of Icewind Dale and the 10 Towns region.
Okay.
I don't see any point in us getting involved.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
You do?
I mean, my parents are here. You know, the ones that we went through literal hell to save?
Yeah. They want a house, so.
Yeah. So, given that there's gonna be a huge flying construct destroying towns and stuff, I don't think that'll do very well for their future health. So... I mean, okay, these towns, they have up to 790, 80, 800 soldiers to defend themselves, sure, but it's a flying construct.
It was more or less like each town to defend
themselves.
What it takes to defend their town. Yeah,
That's
all
right,
of Bryn Shander, all of these soldiers are basically needed to defend Bryn Shander. It's not like they're going to send out people.
I thought they were all going to go up to the fortress.
No, it's more or less depending on the town size, how many they can muster to
defend.
Because as they've put it, they are unsure on where this attack might happen first, if it's going to happen everywhere at the same time, if it's like a set, if it has like a course that it's going to be following. They don't know the plans exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. Even if it's foot soldiers against a flying machine, like, what's the use of that?
Well, but supposedly flying machine. I mean,
sure, yeah, but
you don't have any
the worst. Expect the worst, at least. I mean, we can also fly.
We can also fly, and we can, if Tiala can help us get up into the air somehow, we can take the damn thing down, rip its wings or whatever.
Maybe keep it. Keep
Do
it
you
frozen.
guys
and fly
remember?
back to the island.
Do you guys remember when we first came here? There was a woman who said her son was kidnapped by tieflings, which were looking for black eyes, and that they took him to a castle, which could only be in Caer Dineval or Caer Konig, right?
That's true, yeah. There was
Something
one
like
of the
that.
two castles.
This
yeah.
sounds a lot like the castle they are talking about.
So Dinaval, because he's missing, right? The spokesperson of Dinaval.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So
hang on.
I mean, put it this way, that would be more up our alley of finding a way, hidden entryway, or through the dungeons or whatever, and then getting into and maybe,
You see that
being a
while
nuisance.
you're discussing this, you do see that Trollbane keeps pointing towards an area on the map. Hang on. Where
The
was
map.
it? Oh yeah, I haven't activated it yet.
Not yet.
Hang on a sec. Where is it? She keeps pointing in an area somewhere down here, like far to the southeast.
Wait,
When
I
you're
don't see nothing yet.
Can't see
No
it.
map.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No map.
still loading in it.
No map. No
All
map.
right.
No map. No
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Cannot switch.
All the way down to the southeast somewhere, like away from 10 towns. And you do like kind of snap up like that. She thinks this is where the what was it again? The mountain stronghold was.
So we could go there, offer ourselves or offer our services in trade for whatever the hell we want. I don't care. And yeah, try to get as much information from them about this construct as possible. I'm all invested in this because, I mean, my parents' life kind of depends on it. Don't know about you
Yeah,
guys.
I also feel like we should help them. Because it feels like we're the only people that could help at least a little bit.
And we could have a
They
construct.
people here, they are no fighters.
Yeah.
But since there's no way to leave this shitty Icewind Dale,
Yeah, maybe we could like steal it and fly home.
yeah, that could be an idea.
It could be
maybe.
our
Something like
new
that.
ship, like
Yeah.
our new
Ah,
flying base.
an airship.
Finally.
How fine that would be. Yes.
Leon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really invested, but I mean, if it gives us a way out of here, sure.
Yeah. How should we sell the idea to the rest of the group? That we're going on a suicide mission?
Hang on a sec, it's actually
I mean, we've kind of proven ourselves already. Just
Uh,
by,
sure.
you know.
if
Yeah,
you
sure,
if you
but-
look at the map, this is where she pointed at. My bad.
Wait, again, where?
It's a little bit more to the west.
I mean,
down
one
here.
second, like,
It's like far to the southeast of Dugan's Hole.
Southeast.
Point again. What? Oh, here.
Oh,
The fog.
Down
That's
there,
all.
at the cross.
At the cross.
Yeah, that's a cross.
At
that
the
Mountain stronghold.
cross. Okay. Oi.
Bad
Well, what's
guys
with
here.
the castle in the
Bad
cairn
here.
stuffs?
Here be monsters.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
What was what?
I said here be monsters.
Oh, I thought Tiala said something.
Oh.
Yeah, I said, what's up with the castles? Like,
Yeah, wasn't there like some vampire thing going on
I'm sorry, what?
as well? I don't remember.
What?
It was like just freaking ages ago.
Yeah, it's all too many things, so.
Well, lots of happening in Icewind Dale. At least in 10 towns.
Brandwolf needs one adventure, one goal.
One
He's too
focus.
simple. Yeah, one focus. He's too simple. Go in, kill, and get a machine to fly away.
You hear that there's also, while you're talking, there's some shouting and actually like strife going on between the town masters as well. There's stuff like, we cannot offer up any of our men, we need to defend our own town and stuff. And Maxel the North seems pissed as well. He's like, we are defending Targos and nobody else. And there's like some beef here and there that you can overhear as well.
That is some unified
Where-
10 towns right there.
Where are your
wonder.
parents?
They stayed at Targos, I believe. Or, as far as I remember,
I think in Bremen, no?
was it even
Or-
Bremen?
Brem, I think
No,
it was
I think we
Bremen.
started
town,
there,
yeah.
Yeah,
we started
started
I was
Bremen.
looking at a place for them in Targos, but they stayed in Bremen, yeah.
Yeah.
But fuck Targos.
Oh, they don't have a house yet.
No, they don't. I mean, the flying construct could be their house for all I care. They're just in here right now, so any attack would affect
I mean,
them.
they would. I mean, all of 10 towns would probably be interested in us, going down on maybe something which might be considered a suicide mission and taking care of business. So I don't know.
I think the big question would be whether they not trust us, but whether they would believe that we would suffice as a solution.
Put it this way.
You also
they can buy us. I mean, we're like mercenaries.
You do hear from the
is
Silver
good.
Dragonborn, who kind of like shouts over some speech that is going on, that it would be suicide to leave the towns undefended just to go into some fortress and find out what this weapon is. What if the weapon strikes while everybody gets down there in time? What of all the souls and people we left behind, undefended?
See what he says? Give them the idea. They can take care of their own, and we'll go down and strike that.
I see if I can get the attention of Hlyn.
Hlyn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wave, and she kind of like waves you off and says something else to Duvessa, and then she nods, and then she like heads on over. Mr. Blackbrew, it's good to see you again, finally in person after all this time. I'm very happy that your hunt was successful.
Yes, indeed. Say, your scouts.
Yes,
Do they have any more information about that castle? Any more information about the strength of the Duergar?
Well, as far as I know, and as far as they were able to scout out, they weren't able to get on the inside of the stronghold itself, but they did see that the construction took place in the large courtyard where several of the Duergar workers were building on. The construct size was immense. It was probably as large as you would several buildings if you would put them and stack them next to each other and on top of each other. As to the strength of the Duergar forces, from a size of this construct, I don't think that the Duergar will be doing the attack themselves, but rather they are going to be using this weapon, and I don't know if they are using a pilot of some kind or maybe a sorcerer. That is something that they haven't been able to discern. I've already lost 2 good men, and one of them is missing still and hasn't returned, which was a partner of the one that came to me with the information, and another one confirmed it. But I'm sorry to not be able to give you any more insight into the matter.
And what about the people of Dugan's Hole? Like, I mean, Branwolf's sort of fiance is living there. Would she be able to get to safety? He's very concerned about her.
Yes. She's
Well,
like
I understood that you are sent here in Mr. Durmut's stead.
Yes, indeed.
Hasn't he told you about how many men they can muster? Dugan's Hole is just a little speck of a couple of houses on the map. As far as
That's what I said. So that's why I was wondering if the people that are worth saving would be able to find safety somewhere else.
Well, maybe they can, if somebody informs them, they might be able to seek shelter in the mountains or maybe in the forest between them and Goodmead. As I understood it, what my scouts reported is that the Duergar are planning on striking 10 towns. Not the region itself, but more or less the towns themselves. So maybe if the people are able to flee and we can keep that under wraps, that might be a possibility, of course. As for Dugan's Hole, I don't think they can muster enough men to keep off. I mean, Dugan's Hole is half, if not a third, of the size of this thing. It will be crushed.
And the basically their plan would be to stop the sacrifices, or why would they want to destroy the towns instead of like ruling over them?
Well, that is more or less what they want to do. It seems that the Sunblight clan is acting for the Frost Maiden, and the Frost Maiden seems to be more or less done with or fed up with us human and or us mortal suspects, so to speak. And from what I've understood, it the only option they see is genocide on the surface, so they are able to rule and secure the Frost Maiden's realm and live underneath the hidden sun, so to speak. Because as you might know, Duergar usually only thrive in the Underdark. And they are hateful creatures as well. Now, if you would excuse me, I need to see with the Miss from Lonelywood to see if I might be able to help her with a couple of the defense perimeter setup. And she like moves over a couple of chairs and tables next to you.
Has any one of you heard of a construct like that? That massive?
Did we?
Biggest thing I've seen is a ship.
Yeah. I'm figuring it might be something like a ship. A massive ship.
And also, what strikes you as weird as well is the fact that it's made of Chardolin, this black ice that you guys found as well.
Which, the sword is made out of this, right?
Yeah.
Which sword?
The sword we got from Sifik. Is it made
No,
out
no,
of...
no, that was not Chardolin.
But we do have Chardolin with us.
But you do have a couple of shards, I think, unless you already threw them away as they suggested.
No, I don't think so. I mean, knowing Brown Wolf, we just hoard everything.
I got a whole bag full, I think.
Beautiful. Could we maybe spend some time investigating, find some weakness to this? Maybe, or we can ask them, maybe they have specialists that could help with this. Would that be an idea?
That's an idea to find out what the weakness is of Chardolin, because if it's a type of glass, can it shatter? Is it something which can melt? Is it something which maybe other way around, heat makes it maybe soft or something? We'd have to test it. Matter of fact, let me check my pack if I have those shards.
Is this...
I think was it you that has it?
I'm pretty sure it's Brown Wolf. It's always Brown Wolf.
It's always Brown Wolf, yeah.
Oh.
I save everything. The only with a haversack of holding, so...
Still has the Vanthempor signet ring.
Yes, very important. If I ever get back there.
We're gonna go back there to finish the quest. No worries. But
no, I don't see it in Branwolf's inventory.
No?
I don't know if Freon has it. Maybe
No.
we put it in his inventory because he wasn't there.
Yeah, because I don't remember picking.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we might have put it maybe to your stuff.
there you go. Leather pouch with black ice in Brown Wolf's.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
Ah.
see?
Leather pouch.
Leon, do you know who to ask for if they could spend some resources on people investigating this kind of thing, maybe?
Is it made of stone? Then you should ask a dwarf.
Okay, is it stone? If you look at it, would you recognize it as stone?
I guess I would.
Are you like putting out the leather pouch with the Chardolin?
Yes.
I
mean, it's Brown Wolf's thing actually, so...
Yeah, sure. I got it.
Well, then Freon, make an Arcana check on this one.
Yeah. Give it over to Freon to have a look at.
Take a sniff, lick it.
Three.
23.
18. Yeah.
You're definitely certain it's not stone, because what you heard of Chardalin, which is an old name for it, other people and miners just call it like black ice. Here and there, especially in this Icewind Dale region, like dwarven miners would find it every now and then. And it is said that Chardalin itself usually formed around areas where powerful like magic basically or something like happened, something arcane. But it also had the tendency to always, some people's or some like dwarven like stories and whatnot, or campfire stories say that Chardalin usually is cursed, and that's why they almost have like a religious thing about it of not touching it and getting rid of it, because they're stories of people that are driven mad just by owning a single piece of Chardalin for too long,
That
and
explains
more or
the
less,
hag.
and more or less that it also had the power to like change people after they've gotten like completely consumed by it. And it's not crystal clear like what the origins were of Chardalin, when it was like first discovered. But the earliest like tellings are of it being like found somewhere in Icewind Dale as part of like while dwarves and other races were like mining the area.
Well, I share that with the group.
But there's not much known about the, I don't know, like properties of it, or certain how it reacts to like certain flames and temperatures and whatnot, because people are just wary of it and don't keep it around them.
Well,
Alton, aren't you an alchemist?
absolutely, yes.
Well, you should investigate then.
I'm gonna
maybe.
fly up to the air and destroy that construct. I will be busy. It's not like you can just detect what the weakness is of this thing in a few hours, I'm assuming.
How many shards are in that pouch that I've been talking?
Probably around 3. 3 kind of like the size of a, size of like a thumb or so.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna do it here now with everybody watching, but sometime I just like to take it out.
Smash it.
Just take a bite on it.
I'm just gonna try brute force. Take the butt of my axe and just see if I can, just hold it like I'd hold a crystal or something, and just kind of smash it and see if it breaks or brittles or
Again,
or if it's.
we could
or if
ask
it
the
dent-
professionals to do this. I'm just saying, I mean, instead of us spending I don't know how many days trying to figure out how the hell to destroy this thing, we can just hand it over to alchemists in town or something. In Bryn Shander.
Do they have alchemists
Yes, they do.
in Bryn Shander here? Well, then, yeah.
Didn't you visit one?
I think that... Did I? Oh, that old nice lady. Was that in Bryn Shander?
So, yeah. Was it?
In the temple?
Yes, that was here in Bryn Shander.
I can't remember every old nice lady. I'm sorry.
Am I glad for that? Yeah, would that be?
I mean, yeah, yeah. I think that would be the best way to find out something.
Delegate tasks.
But then, on the other hand, what do you want to do while they're researching? Do you want to go out and look for it, or look for the construct? But then we don't need to have the research done, right?
No, we'd have to know. We'd have to know the weakness before heading out.
Well, we could start by finding where it is. Just identifying where it is. It of course depends on what information we're going to get from everyone else around here. But yeah, finding out where it is while that research is going on? Could that be maybe useful? So that
Would there be
when we get
would there
back,
be anybody like, I don't know, librarian, mages, any kind of archivators or something that might know more about this?
Well, there's
Because
a wizard in East Haven, supposedly.
yeah.
so who's? I mean, that's your
But,
thing,
I mean-
Freon. Like, who should we ask for the most amount of information around here? I mean, whoever's leading this whole operation, no?
Yeah,
Problem is-
definitely not a wizard.
Yeah. Problem is they're all afraid of it. That's the whole problem.
Sure, but
I would go to an alchemist, I think.
okay.
Do you need like the Bryn Shander map back? Or
We can just ask someone to deliver it. I don't think that's a huge issue. Or you think they'll be so afraid
Yeah.
of it that they don't want to touch it?
Yeah, I think it's
We
all-
can
it's
just like
supernatural.
we don't need to tell them what it's in the bag. We can just write a letter.
Hey, can you break this, please?
Well, we can just write a letter to give it to someone to deliver it to the alchemist,
Yeah, and then
and we don't need to give them all of it.
Okay. So the question remains.
I'd just
sorry.
give them one. I'd give them one shard,
Yeah.
and have the alchemist find out how
Yeah.
can this be destroyed, or what is the weakness of this material.
By the way, are the dwarves around here?
which dwarves?
The dwarves
There's a couple.
from Kelvin's cairn. The ones we helped by.
Oh
dealing
no,
with it.
they're not here.
I mean, but this would concern them as well, right? Because
You're guessing that because they were from the they were also from a clan that I certainly can't
Oh,
remember, from the Dwarven Valley. That they, because they were from there, that they are probably like returned by now, because they were here to deliver like that shipment of iron ingots that you rescued.
Yeah, but it would concern them as well. Maybe they could also help. Maybe we could send another envoy to them. We're kind of in good terms with them. I don't know. I'm just trying to find out the weakness. But in the meantime, we do have to figure out what we do until that's figured out.
Also, she did mention that time was of the essence.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like from the general reading the room, most of them seem to be more or less dead set on not going out. At least most of the town masters there, like, we are going to defend our respective town, like each for themselves. And you see that Duvessa Shane is sitting in there. She's just like shaking her head all this time as she's trying to bring the people together. But amongst their like differences, they don't seem to really get along, and everybody wants to fight for themselves, as they don't seem to quite maybe understand the threat, or just shake it off as, well, we're gonna survive it. But yeah, nobody seems to be keen on, well, we are the ones that are definitely going to go to the fortress and maybe destroy the whole thing before it even starts up or whatever.
Well, I'm definitely up to
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Let's go knock on their front door.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's just us do it. I'm just wondering if we should see to make it worth our while, and more or less sell this to the group and tell them, hey, you know what? None of you want to go, but we will go. You guys defend your own cities, but since we are mercenaries.
Yeah, you do see that Miss Shane kind of like quiets everybody down again, and she then addresses the room once more, saying, well, fellow townmasters and companies, Miss Trapper Trollbane has shown me of where the mountain stronghold is, and she kind of shows it to everybody on the map. There are several ways we can approach this. It's if we cannot overcome our own stubbornness in this matter, we can defend our cities, our towns. We can send out a shock troop, so to speak, to maybe try and find out more about the construct, or even destroy it in its place before it takes flight. Or we can maybe evacuate everybody to Bryn Shander if possible, or not, and only defend one town to minimize any losses and lives lost. How is the general feeling of the room towards these options? And again, all of them start like shouting about stuff, and it's like incoherent. But most of them do say that they will be fighting for themselves, keeping true to their townsfolk, and cannot spend anybody to go there. Some are like you see that the halfling town speaker from Lonelywood, Nimsy, you see her like crying in her chair as she seems to be frustrated of not having enough people to defend the town itself. And there's like a couple of the town speakers other that are like very quiet and are just trying to come face to face with the situation of that they might not be able to protect their town. Because they shout things like, well, Bryn Shander and Targus are easy to speak. You have like hundreds of soldiers and whatnot, and give us some. And it's like, we can't due to the size. And there's like an endless discussion going on.
Well, what you gonna offer us? I just stand up and say that.
Yeah. I kind of to give the idea that, you know, I'm backing my dwarven friend, kind of stand up behind him and say, yeah, we'll be your shock troop. What are you going to offer us? You can take care of your own. Take the refugees in. Take the smaller towns into the larger towns. Guard them, and we'll be your shock troop.
You also see that Flynn kind of like shakes her head and staring to the floor, and she says, we won't be able to evacuate all of these people to Bryn Shander, even from smaller settlements like Lonelywood or Dugan's Hole. It'll be days before they arrive here in Bryn Shander, wherever people are trying to make their stand. This thing could start up any second as we speak. It might already be on its way.
Well, might and have and could be are all shadows and fog and mist. What we can do is that we leave now as soon as we can and see that we can stop it before it leaves.
You see that Duvessa Shane says, if you do choose to be so brave and go towards this mountain stronghold to find or even stop the weapon in its tracks, all of 10 towns would be forever in your debt. What is it that you ask? Being not from this region, as I assume.
I stand up.
Yeah, with the brains of the let the brains talk.
I think every single one of us have their own demands, and I would assume that you would have to address them to them individually. But from my side, I want the safety and the accommodation on a permanent scale for both my parents who are currently present in Bremen. And I sit down.
That's a cheap price.
You see that Duvessa kind of thinks to herself, Nimsy, she says, and the crying halfling lady like looks up. Yes? What happened to what's with the inn in Lonelywood? As I've heard, it's left vacant after the owner died recently. And Nimsy says, yes, it is. We haven't really thought about what we might do with it yet. Why? And Duvessa turns back to you, Blackwater. Well, I'm guessing we could, at the expense of Bryn Shander being more or less the organizer of this defense, we might be able to accommodate your kinfolk, perhaps in Lonelywood in the north. There is a vacant It was an inn once, but maybe, I don't know if your parents have any other occupation or skills that they might be able to find joy in up there.
I'm sure Lonely would accept a couple of very good and very skillful doctors and alchemists.
And Nim says, "Oh yes, we definitely would, because there's several like hunters that get hurt every now and then in their work. I'm sure they would fit in right perfectly."
In that case, we have ourselves a deal. I will be at your service to help you with this construct problem. And I look at the others.
Seems that the smallest one of you is showing the greatest courage in this task.
Well, the largest one always goes where the small one goes, so I'll be backing my friend Alton. But to be a little bit of an egotist of my own, I would like maybe perhaps a small pouch of gold and all the weapons and mails that we might need for our adventures, for all of us, that we can get, so that we could be set on the task, not going here just with sticks and stones, but with all the weapons that we might need.
Well, I'm sure that Bryn Shander will need all the armaments we can get, but I'll see to it that your party is equipped and outfitted properly for this journey south.
And I believe that
Of course, a
every-
recompense is something that we can come up with
we can talk about
if
that.
we survive.
Oh. I believe that I would even go so far as to say payment on delivery. When everything is taken care of, then all the 10 towns can pull in together and
break that construct skull or whatever it might have. And what about the rest?
Yeah, looking over to my other two friends, what they might say.
Looks at Tiala and Frion.
Well, I would like to have the construct if it can fly. That sounds like fun.
In terms of studying it, or
we're using it, if it's like a bird you can fly, but in like a machine, then I would like to use it to fly somewhere.
It seems like a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know if it has the possibility of transporting any units, but that of course is a harrowing thought. Maybe they are indeed planning to outfit it with more of these Duergar to come and slaughter our towns.
Well, I mean, if we can get rid of the mass destruction part, then I can use it, right?
Yeah, if you can load us, I could kind of give her idea, and Apting said, you can load a sled with weapons, or you can load a sled with flowers and goods. It's still a sled. And if this is a flying machine, we take away the weapon of the mass destruction, and it's just a flying machine.
What do the other town masters think? If we are able to basically, as this lady put it, get rid of the mass destruction part of the construct, would they be in liaison? What's it called?
Liaison.
Liaison with leaving the empty husk of this thing to this young lady for research or other purposes, and kind of like the room people just seem to nod.
Who gives a fuck?
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, basically.
I mean,
yeah. Given that they don't have a choice, Frion,
what do you want?
I want
Dugan's hole, all of it.
Yeah, I want all of it, and kick that up mangy old bitch out.
Not Dugan's hole.
No, it's too small.
You want Dugan's hole? You gotta start somewhere.
What a castle and a harem.
Yeah, what about one of those castles?
Jesus, man.
It's actually a really great idea. We need somewhere to live.
Yeah.
We should get a castle.
Hang on, let me I need to check something.
A flying construct is not enough?
No, that's like the car that you park in front of your
Yeah,
car.
exactly.
The car's probably bigger
Tiana
than-
has the right
It's our
set of
carriage,
lines.
so we can fly back and forth as we want.
Wow.
As a question for the DM, is there a piece of Tiamat here as well? Do I remember that incorrectly?
Oh, wasn't there something
Oh yeah,
at the beginning?
there is supposed to be somewhere. Yeah.
You saw a. I can't remember if it was a vision, but what you saw was a city of black in ice.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a vision.
Yeah. And you do have a hunch that this location is somewhere in Icewind Dale. But you also do know that both of these castles, they are not frozen in ice and they don't look like a city. They're just castles.
Oh, but there was like a wizard who made a tower out of the stuffs, right?
In East Haven? Potentially?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the Wizard of East Haven because I wrote down that he killed everybody who knew. So, not so sure because then everybody in East Haven would know, right?
What you do know of... hang on, it was something about the... I need to look that back up. Hang on, I have so many notes. Let me get the right one. The East Haven. One of the dwarves from the expedition, Hruna, I think it was. She said something about that there was supposedly an evil wizard in East Haven. They tied him to a stake and burned him because he hired some local 10-towners to help him find a buried tower. And then kill them all to keep the location secret. But she was able to, and she marked it, I think, on your map, or offered to mark it on your map.
That sounds about right.
Of a secret tower.
Who knows? Maybe it's all one of the same thing.
So is that your demand, Freon? You want the piece of Tiamat?
Shane says, well, I cannot speak for Ker Dinval because that is the residence of the town owner who couldn't be with us today as he is supposedly ill at home. And I need to check what it was with Ker Konig. Here we go. Oh yeah, that was where Kelvin's Cairn was up. Which was where the one expedition got lost of the guy with the dog, who was taking some adventures and adventures that he said up there. And Kelvin's Cairn was next to Caer Konig, and Caer Konig is called that because supposedly on top of the Caer Konig there's an old ruined castle of some sort, at the top, which is unused and hasn't been. Nobody really knows what's going on there. So if it's a castle you seek, Master Blackbrew, was it? I'm unable to offer you such unless you scour for another one.
I'll keep my eyes open then.
Icewind Dale is full of old ruins.
Can I describe her the ruins from my vision? I had
Sure.
that twice, right? If I remember
I think so, yeah.
correctly.
You describe it in front of everybody?
No. I'll ask her if she has some.
I mean, she
one-on-one time for me.
And she can like she offers you to just come up to her and then speak in hushed whispers.
In hushed, yes,
Hushed whispers.
I'll hush and whisper with her.
Yeah, if you describe it to her, she says,
Can't find it.
I can't think of any city as far as I know of that. You said it was black and trapped under ice of some sort. If it's a city that you're looking for, like the whole size of a city, the only thing that might come to mind would be the Ragged Glacier far up to the northeast, on the fringes of Icewind Dale. That is the only mass of ice that I could imagine might harbor something like this. But are you sure that it's here in Icewind Dale? And it's a vision that you saw?
Supposedly, yes. I don't remember. I have so many notes. Like parts of it here, parts of it on 2 pages.
But I'm sorry, I'm of no help. Not any more help.
This feels like something we could... Well, actually, I didn't listen to that, so sorry. I didn't hear that.
I think I'll come up with something when we return.
All right. Well then, I think it is final that the Undecided, as they call themselves, will, out of the generosity of their hearts and what we've promised them, will make their way towards the southeast, towards the mountain stronghold, while we prepare for an assault wherever it may come from, be it air, land, or wherever it might strike first. I thank each and one of you for traveling all this way. See that you spend a restful night here. Of course, on our costs, we have some accommodations in the town hall, and for those that are looking for a more public night out, the North Look beds are paid for as well. And then see to it that you return home as quickly as possible, as time is of the essence, and it seems our enemy is growing with every minute and could be on us any moment. Farewell and stay safe. And she adjourns the council. And all of them immediately get up, and talking begins again. Some people take their meat horns, and others already stay, and new groups are forming about talks. You see people going over the map and already trying to strategically, in a militaristic way, see of how maybe people can be evacuated or not, or where the best place is to hold out an attack.
So I guess the best is now, since I guess it's about time-wise, it's getting late in the evening or late at night.
It's right now. Let me double check. Because it's been some time. It is almost 11 p.m.
Yeah. So if we go to the end, get a good night's sleep, and then I'd like to ask her, where to report that we get all the armament and everything that we needed or that we want. I mean, I really don't need that much. I just
Well,
I mean,
you should fit us out with the best stuff you have. But actually, I don't need anything. I have all the magic items I need.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, I don't know what they have to offer. They might say, "Hey, look at this."
They have magic items?
Here, take a ballista to roll with you all the way down.
Let's go.
Or
hope you brought some elephants or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. You never know. Yeah, but you are
a shock troop.
We're a shock troop, but
You're not a whole army.
But until we get there, we can maybe get
Basically, a whole army.
some horses or ponies or something. It might be something. But
I mean,
that's
would it be feasible that Tiala conjures us some giant eagles to get there?
It's been done before, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we did.
I think you guys didn't fly it on them.
Oh, we did.
Let
We
me
did.
check.
We did.
Or I think you
What?
attempted it.
What
Nope.
rating are eagles?
We did when we left the ship and moved to the I don't know.
Library
Yeah,
City.
but that was like
the
one
library
eagle
city.
that came, I think, back and forth or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I had to
'Cause
give
you
up
only
my
could.
I had to give up my dirty book to get into the door.
Yeah, but that's after the Eagles.
No, that was when you were dead.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys might
Oh.
have to think about like speed is of the essence. So what's
Yeah.
the quickest way to get there?
Teleport.
Teleport.
What? Doggos.
If Eagles don't cut it, I would say yeah, sleds.
Yeah,
Doggos.
yeah. Have them give us
Mammoth?
If you
I
roll it
don't
down a
think
hill, then
so.
I'm pretty sure it's super fast.
pretty fast.
Well, weren't you turned into a mammoth?
There was
True.
mammoth. Yeah.
Oh, I could also be turned
Yes.
into an eagle.
Yeah.
I look very excitedly at
Let
Tiala.
me
Like just
check real
do something.
quick.
Gala is focusing her inner abilities.
Or like a giant chicken.
I'm still faster than you.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I can only do 2 eagles.
What?
But that's enough, no? Can
Well,
I
2
mean-
eagles, a mammoth,
What do you guys want to
yourself,
eat?
and no more spell slots when you get there.
Oh god, yeah, true.
Sure, you can be like dead on arrival. All you can do is shillelagh.
Oh, that's a good point,
No,
actually.
let's get dogs, head down there as fast as we can, and then sneak into whatever we find.
Did we walk from Dugan's Hole?
Yeah, with your
yeah,
directions.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
How long did it take?
To
Not
Dugan's
that
Hole was
much.
a couple of hours.
But down, isn't that other thing?
And with
down?
dogs, it should be even faster.
Yeah.
Well, it depends if you have to go around the red waters, and then the issue is that this is supposedly in a mountainous region, so you don't quite know your way inside. I mean, as the eagle flies, it's 18-ish miles, but it's gonna be more than that on land to get there.
We could do
Maybe-
half of it
Eagle
by
fly.
dogs, half of it by eagles.
Well, once we have to get upwards, we
Yeah.
might get eagles so that we can get close enough up the mountain. Yeah. So, but I'd say good night's sleep, then on to the armament, and
get
then
the
head
dogs.
out. Yeah, get the dogs and head out.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So why don't we go like now?
But now,
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit of rest. Wait, what's our condition right now?
we should be.
We
all
are
right.
rested.
We're all
Didn't we
rested.
just rest?
Yeah, we're rested. We're fed. I mean, we can. Yeah.
and surprise factor of the
That's
night.
true. Okay, let's go.
Sure.
Yeah,
Good.
and good call because it's quick as well.
Yeah.
So let's
Alright.
get the dogs.
Call her back over, and come back onto her offer and say that, we consider. I think we have enough in armament, or does anybody else need anything in arms or
Hey,
weaponry? or
If they
something?
have any very special magic weapons, items, armor, whatever, I'm up for it. If not,
I
let's
don't
go.
think they're
No.
gonna say, "Hey,
They have
huh?"
a little bit of heavy armor that they might be
Yeah,
able
we have
to
our stuff, but they need
to
it for
part
the
with
spell.
Yeah.
shields, of
Yeah.
course, spears,
In that case,
Then-
thank you very much.
the
McCloud.
usual
Then-
martial weapons,
The dogs and gold when we get back.
That's it.
ammunition.
Little
Arrows.
balls? You have
Speaking
enough
of-
balls?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna split around the... Freon, you need crossbow bolts, right?
Not really.
I'm gonna give you 10 crossbow bolts.
He needs them in Solasta.
Yeah.
That might be it actually. And
Yeah.
Don't you
Tiala.
need
Tiala
crossbow bolts?
Tiala needs arrows.
I do have a crossbow though.
There you
I
go.
can
I knew it.
never
And
use it.
crossbow, yeah.
And I'm giving Tiala 22 arrows. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
And I'm good with balls, bullets, whatever you want to call them.
Any healing potions lying around which you don't know what the hell to do with, then you can just stuff them to me.
Nope. They have a little bit of remedies, but they are keeping that for their soldiers.
We
I
have,
I was talking
yeah.
to Alt.
No, we have very, very good potions now.
Because
Oh, we're
people will be hurt.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Actually,
All right.
Then we just need the dogs.
How do I add the arrow?
didn't I send it to you?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Do I need to click on confirm or Tiala?
No, yeah. If Tiala clicks on OK, you should get
Oh,
the.
yeah, that's nice. Thank
Wait.
you.
Let's wave her back over again and see that we can get our dogs. And then
Yeah.
we'll head
All right. So as the Undecided head back to the north, look outfitted and ready, and getting their doggos, getting their sled ready to head south, and we'll stop here for the night. And shall continue with the hunt for the battle, depending on how quick you are. Let's see what other
I would call
issues might come up.
I would call it destruction of the
Yeah.
construct.
Yeah.
The
or-
race against
Or how
time.
about a nice alliteration? The conquest for the construct.
The conquest? That's going to be in the next episode's name.
Yeah. Conquest for the construct.
Conquest for the construct. So yes, thank you everybody for joining in and listening. We will be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday, and then the episode will be live shortly after, probably the weekend after. As usual, head to slanteddice.com for all of the episodes. If you're listening on Spotify, leave a follow. If you're on iTunes, leave a quick little review. That helps us out so much. Share it with your fellow D&D players or DMs if you have any. If not, you are of course welcome to just join in and listen or watch. And yes, stay safe, stay nice, and see you next week. No, in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
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 Yes.